Hey everybody, welcome to Engineering 1301. I'm Professor Thompson and I'm your instructor for the course. And in this video I wanted to review some things about the syllabus. Now we're gonna cover the syllabus in more detail when we meet for class, but I wanted to skip down and give you the warnings so that you'll be sure to file these away and know about important things that happen within the course. This is the case for all your courses at Baylor. You want to look at the syllabus because there's important things in there. It's essentially setting up the rules for the class. All right, so let's skip down to the important rules that I want you to know about moving forward in the class. So we'll cover all these other things when we meet. But the first is synchronized meeting times. Okay, we are going to have synchronized meeting times, but they're not going to take the full hour and 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to have a chance to check in. We're going to work together on some projects, and this will be a time when all of us can meet. We can break out into groups and work on these projects. So it's going to be important to go to all these sessions. All right, so there's a maximum of 5 that you can miss. And once you have 5 or more unexcused absences, you're going to have your course grade lowered by 1 letter grade. So it's going to be important to come to the class. The other thing is the class is going to be held through Zoom, and it's important to log in with your Baylor credentials so that you will be properly accounted for when you show up for class. Okay, the next thing I wanted to cover is the exam dates and the missed exam policy. The thing is, I realize this is summer, and summer has craziness. I know some of you might be trying to take a break for vacations, or you might have line camp or something that comes up. There's all kinds of things that can happen. The good news is this class is mostly asynchronous, so we have some flexibility with the schedule. However, we don't have perfect flexibility. We can't just take exams, for example, anytime we want. So I've scheduled 3 dates for exams, so it's important to get these on your calendar. They're June 18th, July 9th, and July 30th. So put those down on the calendar. And the thing is, to account for some flexibility, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a policy where you drop the lowest exam grade. Now, ideally, it'd be better to take all 3 exams and do your best on all 3, and that would help you, maximize your chance for success in the class. If you can, take all 3, take your best 2, that's a good strategy for making a good grade. However, if you have to miss an exam because for whatever reason, you get sick or you're traveling or, you have your sister's wedding, whatever happens that you might have to miss an exam, we have some flexibility built into the schedule. It's just that if you miss that exam, that's going to be the one that you replace. Okay? So that's the thing about exams. Okay, skipping on down here, late work policy. I have some flexibility with late work. I'd rather you keep up on time, but if you're off by a day or 2, we can let that happen. There's going to be a penalty associated with that unless you have an advanced excuse about why you might have something late. So if something comes up and you're not able to complete an assignment on time, you need to check in with us, and otherwise you'll have some flexibility with the due dates, but there'll be a penalty associated with that. Okay, another thing that's important about a syllabus is it gives you the weighting on the grade calculations. Okay, so we're going to talk more about this. In fact, you're going to learn to use a program called Excel where you can do a spreadsheet for your grades so you can keep track of them. But in this class, we're going to have assignments be 30% of the class. This is your homework and labs and so forth. And you're going to take 2 exams. Those are 20% each. We're going to have a final design project at 10% and a final exam at 20%. Okay, so those that's the grading calculation. Another important point to make is that you're going to be taking this class on Canvas, and the problem with Canvas is it keeps track of scores and it displays what it thinks your grades should be, but we're going to not have the exams showing up in Canvas, and we're not going to have a lot of the homework showing up in Canvas. We use another grading scheme, a grading program, And so not all your grades are going to be in there, which means your calculations are the Canvas calculations are going to be way off. All right. So I've had students that told me, they've had, marginal grades in the class, maybe in the 60s even, and they say, but I don't understand, Professor Thompson. On Canvas, it says I have an 85. Well, that's because it only keeps part of the grades on Canvas, and actually some of the most important grades are not kept on Canvas. All right, so you'll have a way of keeping track. We'll show you how to make a spreadsheet, and you can keep track of your grades. And learning to use spreadsheets is an important part of becoming an engineer anyway, so it's a good thing to do. Okay, so those are the main things I wanted to cover with what I would call the warnings part of the syllabus. Be sure and look at, read through the whole syllabus. There's some other things about academic integrity that we'll talk more about when we meet face-to-face, or not face-to-face, but when we meet online. Okay, looking forward to the class. Take care.